Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm diving into something really cool, self-checking ball bearings. We'll be looking at how these clever little components work, exploring the different types available, and even doing a few tests too. See just how effective they are at detecting wear and tear. I'll show you how to identify them, and we'll cover everything from their basic design to their applications in various industries. So, if you're curious about self-checking ball bearings and want to learn more, stick around. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into the world of ball bearings, specifically, how to check them for problems and, if necessary, replace them. We are going to cover everything you need to know, from spotting the early warning signs to actually getting your hands dirty with the replacement process. First, let's talk about how to check a ball bearing. You'd be surprised how many people just assume everything's fine until something goes dramatically wrong. Trust but check, right? A quick inspection can save you a lot of headaches down the line. Look for any obvious signs of damage, cracks, pitting, or excessive wear on the races or the balls themselves. Feel for any roughness or unusual play in the bearing. Even a slight amount of resistance or noise can indicate a problem brewing. Now, what are the basic symptoms of a malfunctioning ball bearing? Well, you might hear unusual noises, grinding, rumbling, or even a high-pitched whine. You might also notice increased vibration, especially at higher speeds. And of course, there's the potential for complete failure, which can lead to more significant damage to your equipment. So, how can you diagnose these issues yourself, without needing any fancy equipment? The simplest method is the visual inspection we just talked about. Look closely at the bearing and feel for any play or roughness. If you suspect a problem, you can try spinning the bearing by hand. If it spins smoothly and quietly, that's a good sign. But if it's rough, noisy, or binds, it's time for a closer look. Let's talk about the average service life of ball bearings. This can vary widely depending on several factors, including the type of bearing, the load it's carrying, and the operating conditions. However, a well-maintained bearing can last for many years, even decades in some cases. Regular inspection and lubrication are key to extending its lifespan. Now, let's get practical. We are going to show you how to remove and install a ball bearing on a VAZ 2010 model. We'll walk you through the entire process step by step, showing you exactly what to do and what to avoid. We'll cover everything from the proper tools to use to the correct torque settings. Finally, we'll tackle replacing the ball bearing on a VAZ 2010, including the important subtleties of lubrication. Proper lubrication is crucial for the longevity and performance of your ball bearing. We'll show you the best type of grease to use and how to apply it correctly to ensure optimal performance and prevent premature wear. Remember, a little grease goes a long way. Over-lubrication can actually be detrimental. So, we'll show you the right way to do it. And that's how you check a ball bearing yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more helpful videos. Hey everyone, let's dive into the world of ball bearings. Specifically, how to check if they are malfunctioning and how to replace them. We'll be focusing on the 2010 design, so keep that in mind. First, let's talk about the design itself. The 2010 ball bearing is known for its... Well, we'll get into the specifics. It's got a certain internal structure, a specific arrangement of balls and races that contributes to its performance characteristics. We'll be looking closely at those components as we go through the diagnostic process. Think of it like this: understanding the design helps you understand what can go wrong. We'll examine the races, the balls themselves, the cage, all the crucial parts that work together. We'll even look at some cutaway diagrams to really get a feel for how it all fits together. This isn't just about replacing a bearing, it's about understanding why you're replacing it. Now, let's talk about the resource life of a 2010 ball bearing. How long should one last? That depends on a lot of factors: the load it's under, the speed at which it's rotating, the lubrication, and even the environment it's operating in. We'll discuss the typical lifespan under normal conditions and the factors that can shorten or extend that lifespan. We'll also touch upon preventative maintenance, things you can do to maximize the life of your bearings. Proper lubrication is key, and we'll cover the best practices for that. What are the first signs that your 2010 ball bearing is starting to fail? Well, you might notice unusual noises, grinding, humming, or even a high-pitched whine. These sounds are often a sign of wear and tear on the bearing's components. You might also feel increased vibration or roughness in the mechanism the bearing is supporting. Sometimes, you might even notice a slight play or looseness in the system. We'll go through each of these symptoms in detail, showing you exactly what to look for and listen for. Diagnosing the problem is crucial before you even think about replacement. We'll cover several diagnostic techniques. Sometimes, a visual inspection is enough. You might see obvious damage to the bearing's components. Other times, you'll need to use more sophisticated methods, like checking for play or measuring the bearing's runout. We'll show you how to do all of this, step by step. Remember, a proper diagnosis saves you time and money in the long run. Now, let's get to the replacement process. Before we even touch the bearing, we need to prepare. This means gathering the right tools, the correct size wrenches, possibly a bearing puller, and of course, a new 2010 ball bearing. We'll cover safety precautions too. Eye protection is essential, and we'll discuss other safety measures to ensure you don't get injured during the process. We'll also discuss the importance of cleanliness. Keeping everything clean will prevent contamination of the new bearing. The actual replacement process itself will be shown in detail. We'll go through each step, from removing the old bearing to installing the new one, ensuring a proper and secure fit. We'll emphasize the importance of following the correct procedure to avoid damaging the surrounding components. We'll also show you how to properly lubricate the new bearing to ensure a long and trouble-free life. And finally, we'll show you how to test the new bearing to make sure everything is working perfectly. We'll even show you how to make a simple self-checking jig to ensure proper function. And remember, if you're not comfortable doing this yourself, it's always best to consult a professional. And finally, for those of you who are feeling adventurous, we'll briefly touch on the possibility of making your own ball bearing. This is a much more advanced topic, and it's definitely not for everyone, but we'll show you some basic principles and techniques involved in creating a simple ball bearing. This section is purely for educational purposes. It's not a practical solution for most people. It's more about understanding the manufacturing process.